Okay. Happy Saturday, everybody. We're so happy to see you here. So grateful that you are ready to take the plunge and transform your businesses. Um, we have a quick little presentation with you to get us ready for Monday night for the leadership Zoom on the Pose Zoom at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I always say Eastern because that's my time zone, but you can translate that for yourselves. Um, I have to give kudos to Jolene Miller, who just prepared this lovely PowerPoint for us to help us get started, help us stay focused. The whole point of doing this 90-day run, of course, is because we are all ready to be in a different place in our businesses and to be transformed. And it really takes going out with that huge, massive action to really have that point of no return, really, that we're all looking for. So we don't retreat back to where we've been. I think everybody who is willing to do this 90-day run is going to really see the changes that we're all seeking in our businesses. So we're just going to have to learn to say yes to the things that matter to us and no to what isn't, and just yes to what is essential. So we're just going to take you through this very quick PowerPoint presentation. And does it have, you can move on to the next slide, I think. Yeah, Michelle, yeah. So I've already kind of touched on this, why the 90-day run is so powerful, because it's really about moving forward in our business. That's why we're all doing this. And we know that success loves speed. It's about a burst, so that jet gets off the runway with velocity and it doesn't on the way, there's no stalling. We really all, I think, are ready to take off. And it starts with just making that decision to do it. It's easier. Once you get to that core rank, which we're all, wanting to help our team members get to, that core rank of Pro 3, there really is no turning back. And that's really what we've seen, across the board with the company and in this business. So we just have to ask ourselves, what do we have to leave behind to be, in a sense, reborn? And it's great that we're going to be doing this and all starting together on January 3rd. That's also when Eric Worre's Accelerator program is doing their 90-day run. So it's all in sync together. And I think we really just get to the point in our businesses where we realize nobody's coming to save us. It's up to us. If it's going to be, it's up to us. And so I'm moving forward with this. You can, I think, go on to the next slide. Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's also just about creating that intensity, that excitement. That's what's going to produce the results. That's what's going to create the blessings. And if you do come on and you're not muted, please mute yourself. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. But, it's really just about playing so much bigger and, just going up, up, up. And just being stricter with our time, and eliminating what would distract us. So for me personally, it starts with just making that decision to grow. As I said, no excuses. If it's going to be, it's up to me. My personal goal is to hit the rank of Pro 5. And hold it, hit it consistently, build from there. That requires not only finding new business builders, but it also requires helping those few that want it, in my organization, to hit their core rank of Pro 3 and to be able to sustain that, stay there. Also, if we have that goal, not sure where, thank you, Allison. I think Allison's not muted, but are you catching those, Michelle, as they come on? Can you?
It's not letting me. So if people could just mute, for some reason, my mouse isn't letting me do it. So I would just keep going. Yeah, she's muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know in our organization, although we have that goal, that personal goal every month that the Post put out with Performance Club, for Dawn and I, that's our goal, of course, to always hit Performance Club and to try to get at least one pool share. That personally is currently only keeping us where we are. We're not growing like we need to. We've been crawling to the rank of Pro 5 for a while now, and this focused effort is really going to push us to, on this 90-day run, is going to push us to where we want to be. I don't think anyone can help but grow and be transformed by a push like this. And so it really requires that all-out massive action. And so, as I said, it's just making that decision to do it and being stricter with our time, because that is really, what's going to get us where we want to go. And so just asking ourselves, what can we do today that we couldn't do a year ago? And I love that we're all doing this together, because we're lifting each other up, and we're all here to help each other. So I'm going to pass it on to Jolene. I believe she is next.
Yep. Okay. Technology issues.
I know. It's not letting you go to the next.
Yep, it's all good. So Jolene, I'm going to load all the things and you can go for it.
Okay, sounds good. So just forgot I was muted there. So as we're going through this, if anybody has anything they want to share in the chat, with regards to what we're chatting about, or you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat and we'll answer your questions. So what we're going to do is this got spurred, like Mia said, from attending GoPro. And if you have, most of you were probably on GoPro, but if you haven't been, it's a really great event to work on really growing your network marketing business, because it's all about creating it as a business professionally. So,
pardon me, I'm having tech issues over here, so sorry.
That's okay.
Hold on, let me just figure out the screen.
It's all good. I'm glad you're running the show and not me.
I normally never have tech issues, but today, it's all good.
Okay. So we're going over things a little bit quick and a little bit condensed today to give you some time to prepare for Monday's pose meeting. And obviously, when you're going to do a 90-day run, there's a lot of preparation. And some of the things that you need to think about are creating your story. So this is like creating your why, as to why you're doing it and why you're doing the business in the first place. So this is just a compacted version of your 90-day run within your business. So why are you doing it? What are you hoping to get out of focusing on your business for 90 days? What results are you expecting? How are the people going to benefit? So the people that you're helping with your business, as well as the people around you in your everyday life. What kind of people are you looking for, right? This would be similar to like creating your avatar or creating your ideal customer or your ideal business builder. You want to put that out there to the universe. What people are you trying to attract? So get that focused. And what is your strategy to make it happen? So what steps are you going to take within these 90 days to get the most benefit out of the focus of that time?
Hey, Jolene, I would recommend they take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to post these pictures in One Person Big Difference, but spend some time this weekend on this slide and answer these questions, and do it with your family and make sure you're all on the same page.
Okay, so, and then what kind of support are you going to offer? So obviously there's various levels of doing your 90-day run, and you are going to have to support your business. You have other obligations in your life that you're going to have to support. So what is that going to look like? Because you are going to have to make some slight adjustments depending on what your plan of action comes out to be.
Can I just share something about this PowerPoint before we move on to this next slide? I want everybody to just notice the colors and the little droplets along the edges, because those were very consciously chosen. The colors represent just energy, active energy, taking action. And you can chime in, Jolene, as well, if you want to. And the droplets are because we're going to be dripping on people. prior to the 90-day run, prior to our actual push. We're just going to be touching base with people and, just making that communication happen, creating relationship. But specifically, the colors were chosen very consciously because orange is an energetic color. It's also the pose color. If you see a lot of what they post on One Person Big Difference, it has that same theme. So I just wanted to call attention to that.
Mhm. Thanks, Mia. So when you're doing your planning, you're also going to want to think about all of the distractions that could come up in your day. So things like laundry, your email, social media, dating, or your cell phone, sports, television, parties, cooking, groceries, hobbies, old groups. So what Eric teaches is basically anything that pays less than $500 an hour, you need to delegate elsewhere. If you could just mute, we're having troubles muting from our end. So if you've hopped on and you're not muted, that would be appreciated. So, it's really nice that we have the technologies that we have, but a lot of times it pulls us away. So for things like your email or your social media, you could take moments and think about, do you have the sleep feature? Could you turn it off? Do you turn your phone upside down and ignore it while you're, say doing something on your computer? And with your email, you could set aside specific blocks of time in the day to check and respond to email. And if your email looks like anything like mine, you get 100 spam emails a day. So, maybe turning those off or unsubscribing, different things like that. And planning things like, not accepting invites to parties, maybe pre-ordering your groceries online if you have the option to have them delivered, or just do curbside pickup. Those are some options you can look at with those types of things. So just kind of focusing and making a conscious decision on what distractions you're going to put on the back burner for 90 days.
Yep. And can I share a few things on here, a few ideas while we're here? So for laundry, I'm just going to go through this list and just some of the things I'm thinking about. And I'm working on this right now, setting this up so that come January 3rd, I have all of these things in place. So I'm actually going to, for my church, I'm going to ask some of the retired ladies if any of them would consider coming over and doing my filing for me. And I write on all my receipts, like where it was and the date and the amount, so that, when the receipt fades later and I have it for my tax records. And then I just put them in an envelope for the month. So they're not any more organized than that, but it works for taxes, because if I have to find a receipt, I can always find it. So I'm going to ask for a teenager, my daughter, and some of her friends to come over and do my receipts. Elderly lady that's retired to come do my laundry for me. Email, I highly recommend you set up filters. So if you want the email, but you don't need to see it, get it out of your inbox. I literally maybe have 10 emails in my inbox and everything else is filed. And I unsubscribe from things all the time. So save it for only a period of time and then go back and audit your folders and say, will I really ever need this? And if you don't, unsubscribe and delete the folder, and keep your email super clean. Social media. I, as a virtual assistant, guys, I am only on my social media in the morning, at lunch, and at night, and that's it. And during the day, I'm on everyone else's social media, but so I'm not on social media all day, so I don't like everyone's posts. I sometimes see, but what I find is that it teaches you to be an attractive person when you're not always on. So you're posting and you're responding to those who post on yours. And then when you have time, go to everyone else's. So just make sure you're keeping your priorities straight around social media and don't let it overtake your life. Dating. So I'm single and I was going to maybe start dating. I was thinking about it, but I've decided that even if I was asked, I'm going to put it off and be like, we can date April 1st if you're still interested. So because, the right guy will still be available April 1st. Cell phone. I use a Mac. If you have a PC, you can't do this, but you can mute your cell phone at any time and just set a timer, like an egg timer on your desk, and check your phone after that hour or after that 30 minutes and stay super focused for shorter burst of time. Sports, of course, just maybe watch less of them. Or I asked my daughter for one non-negotiable that we do a week. And so with that, she gets to pick the one thing that we do every single week together. And other than that, we're going to be in run mode. And so it's not like we won't do other things together. Like I take her to school every day. I pick her up every day. You know, we do spend some time, but there is going to be one non-negotiable that I can never argue with that we do every single week, which makes it super special for both of us. I don't have television. I haven't for literally my whole entire life. I have Netflix, but what I'm giving up for 90 days is I'm giving up Netflix. So I'm not going to watch no TV for 90 days. Parties. Again, if it's during productive business money-making time, because I work full time. So what I'm going to do, my off days, Saturday, I normally don't do anything except for LVA or if we had calls on Saturday. But I have decided that my hours that I can make up in my week are going to come on Saturdays. So I am going to work 6 days a week now instead of 7, because that gives me, you know, 12 more hours at least to my week, which is a lot of hours if you really think about doing productive time. Cooking. I have a friend that she just started a meal prep business. So look for meal prep businesses in your towns, cities, states, and see if you can hire someone to cook for you for 90 days. So I've arranged someone's going to cook twice a week for me for 90 days already. That's already in place. And in this situation, she needed some coaching services. So we're trading. So just consider keeping your options open. Groceries. How many of you ever have been to a grocery store and you walk, like you go in for one thing and you come out with a cart full? Raise your hand if you've ever done that. Anyone? So if you shop online and go pick up your groceries, or with like HelloFresh, you can have them delivered to you. Just make sure you guys are using your time as wisely as possible. Hobbies. Maybe you don't do your hobbies for 90 days, or make your hobby like exercising. So you're keeping your health while you're building your business, or meditating, or walking for 15 minutes. In my weight loss journey, the thing that they said to me was, do what you love in shorter amounts of time and do it more often that way than doing like, you know, working out for, 3 hours versus 15 minutes every single day. So, and then your old group, I think that's what they're pertaining to is you might have distributors on your team that are not building. And as soon as you get into action and you start sponsoring new people and you get going, your old group is really going to want your attention, and be particular in who you spend your time with. Like, are they showing up? Are they sharing? Are they using ITT? Are they using the system? If they're trying to do it their old way, plug them into the system, but maybe not give them all your time and all your energy. And when Eric said anything less than $500 an hour, well, that's pretty much everything in my life. So I get to delegate everything. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be superhuman in 90 days. So how about you guys? So Jolene, I'll go to the next slide for you.
So preparation. You want to take the next couple of weeks. So you're going to have to set aside time, right? You're going to have to take the time now to sort of think about, okay, I've got this 90-day run coming up. We have Christmas, and in Canada, we do Boxing Day, and all of the things, New Year's, there's going to be all of these things coming up. Everybody will probably have if you have kids, they're going to be home. You probably maybe have, if you don't live in Canada, you probably have family. That's just a little side punch up here. We're not supposed to have people over. So anyway, what are you going to do? What are your personal commitments to prepare? Think about those ahead of time. Your schedule. What are you willing to sacrifice? So some of these things tie in with the previous slide. Sit down and talk with your family and negotiate with them. You want to eliminate distractions, your unshakable commitment. And so pick a launch date. We're doing a group launch date, January 3rd. Eric Worre's doing a 90-day run starting January 3rd. We've chosen to also do the 90-day run. We have starting January 3rd. So that's our launch date. So you need to have all of this stuff prepped and prepared and thought out ahead of time, because if you go in unprepared, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I'm just going to chat a little bit about my things I'm doing for preparations. So I agreed to do the 90-day run because I need to grow my business. I'm tired of crawling. I have always believed strongly in network marketing, but I tend to go like this, like a roller coaster, because I'm highly emotional and I am very triggered by emotional stuff around me. And if I get into a funk, my business kind of goes flat. So my personal commitment to myself is that I need to recognize this. And when I feel that energy, I need to learn how to put up the energy blocks around that stuff that typically would pull me down. Scheduling wise, for me, I have to look at, we've pulled our kids out of school. They're preteen and teenagers, so I'm really going to try to get them to help more around the house. But also I have to consider, we have to get our homeschooling done. My husband works away a lot. So I have to think about all of these things. I typically am doing everything, which means when that energy stuff comes, that's what puts me out, because I'm always like going 100 miles an hour. And then what am I willing to sacrifice? That's a big one for me, because honestly, I feel like I'm sacrificing all of the time because I don't really do a lot for myself. In some ways I do, in some ways I don't. So during regular normal human hours, I typically don't watch TV. But I do sometimes get stuck on social media. So I have to remember that. And that's probably going to be my sacrifice, is I need to remember not to do the scrolling, negotiate with my family. So in a lot of ways, it's pretty much just my children, because they're going to have to start doing a lot more around the house. Eliminate distractions. So for me, I'm really bad at like the last minute, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock. What are we going to do for supper? So I have to really sit down and do some meal planning and meal prepping so that things are made and we can just like throw it in the crock pot or throw it in the Instant Pot or just have that pre-prep done. For me too, laundry and cleaning, I can't stand a dirty house. So the kids are going to have to help more with that. And again, social media is probably my main distraction. Unshakable commitment. Like for me, it's going to be that emotional stuff. I have to know that I'm committed and I know where I want to go with this. And I have to be unshakable in not letting myself get emotional. And another reason that partly why I'm doing this, I'm helping out today and starting people getting going on this 90-day run is because you need an accountability partner. And so this, for me, knowing that I've committed to somehow help in some fashion to get this going for people, is that I have to be prepared. And so that is going to kind of be my accountability partner, in that I have to know I've committed to this and I'm helping out. So I need to be ready and be an example. And again, we've already picked our lunch date. So just some things to think about as you're going through this activity and getting ready for a more in-depth session that we're going to do Monday night on our post call.
And Mia, before you wrap up, I have something that Susie mentioned in the comments that I think is really crucial, that I do think we need to talk about. And it's like the energy vampires in your life, who is sucking energy from you, but also what are you doing to yourself? So mindset is everything. And so we have a practice in our house that might help you guys. We have notebooks. They're like, I just got this at the grocery store. It's like grocery list. You can get them on Amazon. They're just long lists, and you can get any piece of paper, but we keep it where we get up in the morning. So this would sit on my desk by my bed, my nightstand. And if ever I have, or if there's one in my kitchen, and there's literally, we have these kind of all over our house. And the rule is, if you are talking to yourself badly, you write it down. So you acknowledge it. You ask why you are feeling that way. So you understand you're not just angry. you're frustrated or you're sad or you're not heard, or like figure out what's going on with you. And then literally move your energy. So physically move your body in some way. So take a quick walk to the mailbox, quick walk back in. Sit down, stand up, sit down, go up and down your stairs a few times. Like if you change your body physically, you can change your emotions. So don't stay in the emotion. Like I'm not saying don't feel your emotions at the appropriate time, because I believe you have to, but it's really important to, like, if you're feeling down about yourself and you haven't showered for 2 days, go shower. Do some good self-care, like change your physical state so you can change your emotional state, but acknowledge what it is. So we have a rule in my house too, that not only do you write down, acknowledge it, really do discover what you're feeling besides the happy, mad, like what's underneath it, where are you feeling it in your body? And we have not only move your body, but if we're ever like, if we have angst with each other in any way, we stop and we hug. And I will tell you, it has been the best practice in my family. The hugging practice is because when you can connect heart to heart, you can really change everything. And so that's something I've taught my daughter, is that when we're frustrated, we can only be frustrated for a few seconds. And then we just have to like shake it off and we hug and then we talk about it. And it's been super helpful for us. And then we can shift right back into activity again. So the goal is to shift, to stay, no, not, is to shift shorter, like amounts of time, stay in the bad energy for shorter amounts of time, process it, acknowledge it. And then when you have more time, go back to it and really figure out what's underlining. So when I have bad self-talk, I always write it down, because then I'm like, okay, where does that come from? And oftentimes, and I don't know if this relates for any of you, but this is true of almost all humans, it's usually from a parent or a spouse or a brother or a sister or a teacher or someone in authority that whispered something to you in your life when you were a child, and it shows up and it plays over and over again. And if we can stop the pattern and look and go, oh, I was just frustrated that day, we're okay. Like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not a bad person. It's just acknowledging that your subconscious is playing a record over and over and over again. And if you don't acknowledge it and hear it and take the needle off the record player, it will keep going. So we can get better as humans by acknowledging what we're feeling and what we're hearing about ourselves, so we can shift our energy. So Mia, I'll let you wrap up the call. And then what we're going to do, guys, is we want you at the end, tell us what you're going to do to prepare, or if you have any ideas to share with the group. This is not just Mia, Michelle, Jolene. We want all of us to do the 90-day run. So we want you to help us with this as well. So Mia, you can wrap us up.
Great. Thank you, Michelle and Jolene. And if anybody has any questions of how this can help, how they can get their just thoughts organized, Jillian and Amy Dippold also did these handout sheets that they're posted in One Person Big Difference.
Nope. Monday. They'll be available Monday.
Or
the
post them after Monday's call.
Available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, just mapping this out, that's really what we're all doing. We're partnering together to just help lift each other up. It's really just, what we think is what we say, what we say is what we do. And then what we do is what's really creating what we want in our organization with this push. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to go into more depth, as Michelle had said, on Monday night on the post team Zoom. But this is just to help prepare us for that and to help us start thinking about what we need to do to be successful with this push. And we're just here to cheer everybody on, because, when we go crazy doing something like this, we all become champions. And that's really what this is all about, just helping all of us to be successful. And I will just add one more thing. One of the things that Eric also said is event attendance is a key performance indicator. So that's also very helpful, for you and those that are watching you, to just plug into these events as best you can. If your borders are not allowing you to travel, we get it, just join us virtually. But if you can be at the event in Orlando in February, we're just encouraging that, because that's also going to be very powerful in developing this. So we will see all of you Monday night. Seriously, if anybody has anything they want to chime in and add, please feel free. Now's the time. You can unmute yourselves. Anyone?
I will share just something really quickly as far as those state strategy changers that Michelle mentioned as well, just little things that you can do to get out of a funk, change your state. I think that's so important. And for me, I need little practical things that I can do, especially because I have little kids running around. There's constant distractions in my life. And so I actually made a screensaver on my phone, and I did this in September. I haven't updated it since then. But in September, I made a list of just different things that I could do to change my state. And I put it on the screensaver on my phone. So I'll share that in the 90-day run Telegram group for you guys to see kind of how it looked. I plan on changing that and making it a 90-day run state changer list. So you can kind of see what might be helpful for you to change your state if needed, those little tips.
Like a template?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Lizzie, do you want to also, I made a 90-day guide in One Person Big Difference yesterday. If you'll post it there. And if you guys think of things that you would do, just go to that post that she's going to do in the guide on One Person Big Difference. There's tabs at the top, just click guides and go to the 90-day run. I think it's guide 6.
Guide 6, yeah.
Yep. And then you guys put your things in there. We want this to be interactive because a 90-day run isn't like, I can do a little bit more. It's like, when we stand, you know, at the end of our life, have we spent all of us? And this is the point where we're not asking you to, you know, do this eternally. We're asking you to do it for 90 days. And we want you to think about, okay, what's more than I'm doing now? And then what's a little bit more than that, right? Like you're going to push yourself. You're going to be tired. Tired is going to be a thing for sure. We're going to make tired the new cool. And we're going to also take care of ourselves. So make sure your nutrition is set, your water set, your Axio set, taking all your, you know, LifeVantage activators. So guys, this is, I think this is the part of us that just can crank it to that next level to find the superhuman in all of us a little bit, because we can always do more. When I was a Marine, I was always amazed that I could do more than I possibly thought I could. And that's the thing I took away from the Marine Corps more than anything is that, wow, I can do amazing things. And so just know that about yourself as well, that, wow, you can do amazing things. So, all right, I think we're good. Do you guys have any other tips? Anyone? We can unmute and share.
I was going to say one more thing too is, you know, we have an incentive trip coming up and using these 90 days to get those points, we could all be going to Croatia in September. So, you know, that could be another point of focus is, have you ever made an incentive trip? And this is going to be a really good tool to get you there.
Right on, guys. That's awesome. You guys did a great job presenting this, and thank you so much for doing that. I definitely will be doing a lot of the things that you had on those lists and getting, you know, myself organized and going for the gusto in the new year. So, and you know, working on that now, of course. We never give up, never stop.
Absolutely. So I'll put
Thank
these, the slides from today in the guides right now, these ones that we shared today. And then join us Monday night because we're going to talk more about the 90-day run. There's more. So come back, but we want you to do it in pieces and parts so that you're not overwhelmed. So just prep and plan this weekend. And then Monday we'll give you your next part. Okay.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you Monday night.
Thank you. Have a good weekend also.
Thank you.